Today I'm going to tell you and explain why men are making the biggest mistakes of their life, and I'm also going to tell you how. There's going to be a bit of a test for you so you can actually see where you're going wrong, or maybe where you might be one of those men that you've got everything but still why aren't you happy? Why isn't that fulfillment, satisfaction just not there? It should be there, but it's not. So you're gonna get, and then I'm gonna talk. I always love to talk about the solution. I'm always about the solution. So first, three stages. Mistakes. This is what I see a lot of men making. Then when I say I see, we look at statistics. Numbers don't lie, okay? The amount of men that have got health issues, like I'm talking emotional health issues, just no capacity emotionally. Soon as something happens, they just not with it. When I say not with it, they'll blow up, they'll lose their cool, road rage, just short with people, due to burnout. That's a big portion of it, due to burnout. Just doing too many things that are not their business. Okay, and which leads me to the next thing, because they don't know their mission, their purpose. That's why. You don't know what your purpose is, you end up following somebody else's, okay? So the third biggest mistake men are making is they actually don't look after themselves. They don't get regular health checkups. And even recently, I've actually had, when I say recently, last year, I had two of my uncles retire. Within that year of retirement, reaching early 60s, both of them got cancer. Gentlemen, do not prolong your health, like health checkups. That's a recipe for disaster. So another big mistake men are making is they're losing their muscle mass. They stop testing themselves physically. Goodness me, the bone mineral density just goes down. Strength training is one of the best things you can do. Yeah, cardio, but strength, gentlemen, do something, okay? And I mean, another big habit of one of the biggest mistakes is men do not go to the next season, let's say. They're still acting like boys with bad habits, okay? Bad habits. Whether drinking, whether it be drugs, whether it be pornography, whether it be bad language, boyish behaviour. Let's just say it, bad habits, man. They reckon marriages because of it. They reckon children's lives because of it. So, anyway, I could keep going, but what a big mistake men are making, this is causing a lot of problems, is they don't have a financial plan. That will cause a lot of stress. That will cause a lot of stress on your marriage. Man, I don't need, if that's you, I don't need to tell you. So as I said, I'm all about the solution, okay? But this is what I want you to maybe take a look at, okay? Because there's, on your masculine journey, if you look at every man that you know, every person, but we're talking about men here, they'll be operating on one of four levels. The goal, if men can get at least to the third level, all right, things start to happen. The first level, the bottom of the rung, the bottom of the level, right, is implementation, okay? Meaning you're just doing the job. You're just doing it. You get up in the morning, you go to work, you come home, you watch rubbish on TV, you go to bed. You're just implementing somebody else's dream, somebody else's mission. You probably say things like, pays the bills, okay? You'll be familiar with, I'm in a rut. You'll be familiar with words like, oh man, is it the weekend yet? You'll be living for anything else but what you're implementing. The second stage, the second level is management, okay? So you'll be managing other people that are doing the implementation. And that's a little better, I suppose, but at the end of the day, you're not growing. You're just you're just doing the same thing at another level, getting more people. And that might feel good for a little bit, But that's not where you want to be, gentlemen. So this is where it gets exciting. And when you get to this level, because we've all gone back down and think, like the harder I work, the luckier I get. Yeah, well, kind of. You wait and listen to the third level, because really the third level is around communication. When you can, as a man, when you can communicate better, you can speak better, that's when you can inspire people. That's when, particularly when you take action when it comes to your mission, your purpose, and you start to really impacting other people through communicating better, man, that's when it starts to really you start to have impact in your family, in your business, with your customers, and then the the fourth stage where I love, because it's about imagination, it's about creativity. So if you can get out of just implementation, okay, and then managing implementation, and then literally get into communicating a lot better, man, your relationships will be better, your partnerships with people will be better. Then you get into the imagination, the creativity. All of a sudden, you start attracting great opportunities. I said it before. If I work harder, the harder I work, the luckier I get. That's not necessarily true. The better ideas I get, the better opportunities I seem to fall into. They all fall into me. What I've learned, this is what I've taught, coaching men since 2009 full time. It was happening for a decade before that, but I say 2009 because that's when I decided that's all I'm going to do, okay? So what I found is, talking thousands of men, for a man might operate, let's use, for example, what's something in your life, maybe your income, let's say your income, okay, is a 5 out of 10 of what you know you can do. You'll attract 5 out of 10 opportunities. As you start to create, imagine, communicate better, you start getting to maybe an 8 out of 10, you'll start attracting 8 out of 10 opportunities. You get to a 10, all of a sudden, what used to be a 9 out of 10 is a 5 out of 10. You can grow. So the better a man gets, the better the opportunities he will attract. So for your life to get better, you need to get better first. That's been my experience in myself, and of course, helping a lot of other men. A lot of men, we've been conditioned, if we're operating on the value ladder, just living somebody else's dream, we're waiting for somebody else to get better. You create your opportunities, is what I'm saying. By imagining, I say everything's created twice. First in your mind, and there's a few layers before that, but then you start to materialize, okay? So particularly like I said, when the people around you are inspired by those top two levels, your world will change. And I say all that to say this, man, you're probably thinking, all right, so how do I do it? I'm glad you asked, because that's what I love. That's what I specialise in. That's what I've given my life to, okay? This mission to become a better man, to give other men the opportunity to become better men. That's what I love to do. And can I say, this is how we do it. We've been running a 5-day Become a Better Man challenge, okay? 5 days. 5 days, an hour a day, plus doing the challenge, in your time. Simple will affect, so that you will level up. You'll level up, right, in your family. You'll level up in your business, in your income, in your cash flow. You'll level up in those areas. Level up in your faith. Most men are just living an average of what they could do. Is because of their belief system. Their belief meaning faith in themselves, faith in the one who sent them, faith in the one who made them. Goodness me. So how do we do that? 5 days, real easy, real simple. Okay, day 1 we look at your enemy, the opposition. Man, being a fighter for 18 years, you must know your opponent. A lot of men are walking around or watching their phone all the time and not even thinking about what's going on in their head. They're just letting other people distract them from their mission. So we're going to look at your enemy, your distraction, the thing that's holding you out, possibly even taking you out. You know, we look at day 2, what you need. Not what you want, what as a man, what you actually need from other men, from women, from this world. What do you actually need to go full tilt? See, because the truth is you're going to give your life to something. You know, so why don't you start knowing what you're going to give your life to? And I mean, you know, particularly when we talk about day 3, we talk about culture and around there's secrets to building a culture that supports your mission, your purpose, the thing you were designed for. There's secrets to actually bringing a culture, family together, to creating a business that is like a family. You know, I've had men say to me, this feels more like my family than my family. I say, well, you get back home and you start implementing what you're teaching, what you're learning from me. All right. So, and day 4, we get into your assignment. You know, you like I said, you know, you create a culture that supports that assignment, that purpose, that mission, that thing you were designed for, that thing that you can't not do. You know, it takes time, but I'm telling you, this was like opening the can of worms, man. You do these 5-day times, I guarantee you won't be able to sleep at night, man. You'll be so excited. You'll be jumping up and down. You'll be shadow boxing. So, and then I love day 4, you know, we really, it's really, I mean, that's the thing when we go through these things, different, and we do the challenge, because every day there's a task to do. Might take you 5 minutes, might take you 20 minutes, but you'll be thinking about it. You'll be talking about it. You'll be asking questions about it. It'll get inside you, man. It'll start to fill you up. Okay, with the good stuff. And then as I said, we get into that last day, we talk about, you know, we're the computer we create. So we look, man, what are you creating? And I'm not talking out there. Remember, I'm talking in there. What's being created in there? What can you do? Particularly because literally the men that go through this, they're not your everyday men. They're men who are looking for a challenge, a test. They're looking for the next step. Once you get in an environment like that, your life changes. You know, your standards lift. And of course, you carry that into everything that you do. So man, hey, listen, I hope I haven't taken so long. So there's 2 tickets. There's a general admission. There's a VIP section. And can I say, if you can, do the VIP section. This is why. Okay, because as you're going through this, you're going to get so many questions. You're going to have so many revelations, light bulb moments. So the VIP section, you guys will come on early each day and you can ask me anything. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've dedicated my life to this. Man, you know, I've had men go through, not this program, but they've gone from this to other things that I've done, and they've launched businesses. From their purpose, the thing they want to do. They've gone from doing $500,000 a year to doing 1.8 a year. They've been in management jobs. All of a sudden they've started, hey, I'm going to get in this creation mode. All of a sudden they've doubled their income. You know, so I don't know what could happen to you, but what I'm saying is if you can get into that VIP section, you can ask me questions that are specific to your journey, to your masculine journey. You know, what if you could hear something, you could ask the right question, get the right answer, and it bursts something, it bursts a seed in you that creates an oak tree over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, that you start to actually build a legacy that impacts your family for decades. For decades, I'm talking decades after you've gone. You know, what if you could ask a question? You know, you're going to get an opportunity to ask me questions. Some of my programs I run is a $35,000 program. You're going to get the same opportunity as those guys. Some of the guys, it's a $10,000 program. You know, you get an opportunity. These guys they ask me questions. You know, man, we're seeing that happen. You know, so gentlemen, there are things happening in this world. The world is moving fast. You're either on the front foot, improving, growing, taking action, or you're getting left behind. Today you get an opportunity to be on the front foot. All right, over and out.